everybody. Okay, breaking news in the horror world. Today was announced that Mike Flanagan has been chosen to direct the next Exorcist movie in the franchise. A friend of mine, Frank, he's been on my some of my live streams. He sent me the link to ihorror.com. It's a horror website. However, when I was looking through it, I also noticed that the Hollywood Reporter has also picked up on this story and other sources. Therefore, this is legit, people. Mike Flanagan is on board to write, direct, and produce a radical, according to this article, a radical take on The Exorcist to take place in the same universe as the original 1973 film, and apparently ignoring Exorcist Believer. Wouldn't many of us want to just ignore Exorcist Believer? I would. I'd love to ignore that movie for as long as I live because, as you all know, that movie did not sit well. Yeah, like it was like at first it was good, and then there was an aftertaste that just didn't sit well, and it left a ugly feeling in me, as well as with many fans. I'm gonna put the links below to the live stream that I did a few months ago when Exorcist Believer was, when it first came out. I had a big discussion that was quite an interesting talk, and I also I'm gonna put up my reason why I even took away a coffee cup, because as you know, I break things by coffee cups. I took away a coffee cup for the Exorcist Believer. However, this promises to be something big. So what? Let's take a look. Let's read the article. Let's go over it and see how it is. I'm gonna make myself little so we can take a closer look at this article. Now, it says here, Mike Flanagan to write, direct, and produce radical take on The Exorcist Believer. All right, let's take a look at it. It says here, I'm going to read it for you. I'm going to start here. I'm going to highlight it right there. The Exorcist reboot. Take two. It's a reboot. It's not a sequel to Exorcist Believer. It was probably a very sad time for David Gordon Green, after his passion project, The Exorcist Believer, failed to impress fans of the original. But leave it to Mike Flanagan to save the day. Oh, snap, Mike Flanagan. Now, some of you might be asking, who the hell is Mike Flanagan? Well, he is the writer and director, if you see it right here, of Dr. Sleep and The Haunting of Hill House. If you remember, Dr. Sleep is a sequel that came out several years ago on the direct sequel to The Shining, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, which actually, that movie was, it had its moments that made me go, damn, that's the, like I was, so, okay, kudos. He went there. And Haunting of Hill House, to be honest with you, I saw that series on Netflix, and that was an amazing, awesome effing series. So if you haven't caught The Haunting of Hill House, catch that on Netflix, man, because that was amazing. All right. Okay. So this guy directed those movies, and he did a few other things too. I think he did Ouija Board Origin of Evil, which I did not see, admittingly. I should see it. I heard good things about it. Anyway, let's keep reading the article. He's trying his hand at the franchise, which is being called a radical new take on The Exorcist in a new film for Blumhouse and Morgan Creek. Okay, so Blumhouse is taking the reins on this again. Blumhouse has been kind of like slipping lately when it comes to horror franchises, I have to admit. Okay, so check this out. It says it right here. The film will tell an all-new story set in the Exorcist universe and is not a sequel to 2023's Believer. All right, there's Mike Flanagan holding the axe that Jack held in The Shining. This is the set for the Shining, Dr. Sleep, for Dr. Sleep. Yeah, he did Oculus, He did in 2013, he did Hush in 2016 and Ouija, Origin of Evil in 2016. So according to this, it says here, The Exorcist is one of the reasons why I became a filmmaker. And it is an honor to have the chance to try something fresh, bold, and terrifying within its universe, says Flanagan about the project. Reuniting with my friends at Blumhouse, whom I've made some of my favorite pieces of work, only makes this more exciting. Sounds awesome, right? Okay. And then Blum adds, Mike's voice and vision are indispensable for horror fans, and we are excited to welcome him back to Blumhouse. I immediately responded to Mike's new take on the world of The Exorcist, and I can't wait for audiences to experience it. And then it goes on to say, the chairman and CEO of Morgan Creek is also excited about getting him in. Check this out. This is the line that made me go, yeah, okay. I'm going to read this to you. Ready? The Exorcist Believer grossed $137 million at the global box office, which is a nominal success, but it never hit the mark spiritually with fans of the 1973 classic, you think? Or even 1990's Exorcist 3, which, believe it or not, has a following, has a good cult following. It's actually a good film. Furthermore, here it is. Furthermore, a planned trilogy based on Green's Believer has been scrapped. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ain't happening, guys. Remember, we talked about that. We wondered, about that. It says here at the end, there's no word on what this new chapter is about or when it's scheduled to hit theaters. So that's pretty much it. I just see all my guitar ads here because I'm a guitarist. I'm always looking at guitars. Okay. I like that last part. It's been scrapped. So there was Believer, but guess what? There's no Deceiver. There's no Golden Retriever. There's no Conceiver. There's no nothing. There's no nothing anymore. It's all gone. Bad idea. So now they're like, okay, they're pressing a reset button. I said that this was possible, that this would happen, right? Didn't I say that this would be a direction they would take if they wanted to make another movie? They would have to press a hard reset button, and lo and behold, that's exactly what they're doing. Mike Flanagan is creating a movie that is another direct sequel to the 1973 Exorcist, and it's going to be a completely different idea, concept, and hopefully a hell of a lot better than Believer, without the stupid, stuff that I noted in my review of Exorcist Believer and into a live stream. Again, I'll put those links down below and I'll put it at the end of this video. This looks like, I mean, I'll be honest with you, based on what I experienced this past fall with Exorcist Believer, I can't help but feel a little bit of more hope for this. This might actually be better. Now, will it be? Only time will tell. We don't know anything about the plot. We don't know anything about the characters. We don't know anything about when it's coming out. All we know is that he's writing, directing, and producing it. Okay? So that's a heavy load. So let's find out what happens. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this is news for me. I guess we're going to find out what happens with Exorcist Believer. I'm sorry, not Exorcist. Oh my God, I got to get rid of that. I really got to get rid of that. Yeah. So no more Exorcist Believer, no Exorcist Golden Retriever, no Exorcist Deceiver, no Exorcist Conceiver, no Exorcist Reliever. I'm tired. I'm tired of it. It was bad. It was just bad. How bad was it? Check out the links below. And at the end of this video, you can click on it and find out how bad they were. Are you an Exorcist fan? Are you looking forward to this new take on the Exorcist universe? Let's find out what happens, right? I mean, anything can happen between now and then. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Give me your thoughts. Comment below and let me know what you think of Mike Flanagan taking on the helm to direct the next film one of the greatest horror franchises of all time. We're talking about The Exorcist. And let's see what happens. Until the next review, this is Ross Perez from Horror and Coffee. Until then, take care.